Alrighty, welcome back to K2 Paranormal. I am Jackson. I am currently in a area north of Perth called Mogumber. Now this, I'm going to do the disclaimer right now. So this is going to be a very cultural video. If you're not really sort of into that thing, then I suggest you don't watch this. I'm only going to show you what was and what is. I'm not trying to give you my interpretation of what this video is or this place. I'm just showing you the history side of things. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Alrighty, this is my first time here actually. They did have a bit of it blocked off because of the asbestos and whatnot, so there was a fence that was blown down. I just sort of drove through it, but anyway. So this is the Moore River settlement here. There's actually a river that runs along that side here. This was one of two settlements established by the government. It was mostly for Aboriginal people that they were brought here, mostly to show them like domestic skills, just civilization sort of. All right, there was a fire that came through, so there's going to be, I'll show you this building here. As you can see, it's pretty charred, but that's all right. We'll take a walk around, we'll have a look. Alrighty, so here we go, first building. Everything's quite burnt. Not going to go too far into here. It's just to show you guys sort of what this building really looked like. Right, so by 1918, the Mogumber Reserve here, it's settled on the banks of the Moore River. That's what I was just saying before, that the river's just over the other side there. And then it was opened by the government of Western Australia. We'll go down to these buildings and we'll sort of work our way around and back up on this one. So it was set up to help support roughly about 200 people to be stationed here at the reserve. There was schooling and health facilities and employment and all those sort of things that they were trying to get the Aboriginals to have skills and whatnot to get jobs and stuff. Now I don't know what a lot of these buildings actually were, so I apologise. I didn't really do too much investigating before I come here. I actually didn't think I was going to be able to get in, to be honest, so that's all good. So a lot of the people that they brought here, they came down from like the Murchison, from up north of Western Australia, the Midlands, sort of just out of Perth, and the southwest regions as well. But I'm just going up into the front of this building. It's a very ominous feeling in this place, I can tell you that. And you can see the other buildings behind me. But I'm going to go in and have a look in here anyway. Alrighty, so we're going into this one. This one almost looks like it was like a administration office or something. Like I was saying, I don't know too much about what these actual buildings were. I know the history of the place and whatnot. But that's a bit weird that fire was started in there but not anywhere else. Yeah, okay, there's nothing there. So out here they probably would have had chickens and stuff. You can actually see, there's a bit hard to see with the sun, but there is actually it looks like a chicken coop. Some sheds and stuff down there. In here we've got a bit of a kitchen. So this might have been like our offices or something. It is all asbestos and that, and I shouldn't really be walking around in amongst it all, but here we are anyway. just gonna see what's in here. I feel like someone was trying to fucking stop me from going in there. That's weird, the door just pulled against myself. And a few spider webs, cupboards. A little bit of a view from out here. Alright. Alright, so here you can see, obviously these are signs, you can see there's toilets, which will be those ones over there. This will be like a mess, so that's the dining room. And then conference room, so I guess that building there, that one's got Kingston written on it, so I'm just assuming that that was the name of like the dorm itself, Kingston. They probably have different names for different stuff. There are, over the top of that hill there are other buildings, but I'm not going to go and do every single building here. We're just going to generally just do this area. It's just to show you guys, you know, this is the stolen generation area. This is exactly, you know, where everything happened. I'm just going to cut through here. I was just going to. So when they selected this area here, because it was right along the river, which I can actually nearly see. Unfortunately, all this soil here, it was no good for farming. They couldn't cultivate anything from it. I'm not sure what this building is that I'm coming up to. It is pretty much completely burnt. Storage shed or something like that. So there you can see that behind me. Unfortunately, by the 1920s, the idea of this settlement and its initial purpose actually shifted from good to bad. Wow, this is there you go. There's really not much left of this one here. Most of the people after 1920 were actually brought here against their will. There's a bit of a garage there, that's all right. Yeah, so here you go. I was saying before about the chicken coop thing. So they had, this was all farming sort of, you know, they had eggs and I'm pretty sure they had cows as well. They were milking the cows and stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely chickens, and they probably, don't know what this was. If anyone like knows what the buildings were that I'm, you know, that I don't know, you can chuck it down in the comments. But all good. Alrighty, let's keep this on the move. Alright, so I'll go up, I'll show you the toilets and whatever that is just quickly, and then we'll head up to these ones, and then we'll get out of here. Okay, toilet block. Yep, hot water system and stuff. Don't think there's going to be much to see here, but anyway. Urinals. Oh. Disabled toilet, looks like. Oh yeah, showers. That's pretty much, I don't really need to see much more of that, really. Do you guys? Probably not. Okay. Oh yeah. So there are actually a couple of older buildings here, and just there is the old swimming pool as well. That's pretty cool. And I think from my reports, that cottage there was actually the first building, and that was used as an office, a store, and an assistance room in 1918. So I've just come up to this little spot here. There's a bit of a wall that sort of goes along quite a distance. Maybe they had cows or sheep or something in this area. I'm not really sure. Definitely would have been used for something. Actually, I can see two bits that actually look like used to be toilet things, so there's probably some other buildings here that were demolished in the early years. So I'm guessing a while ago there was, you know, when you could actually come to Mogumber here and you wanted to have a look around, there were those information boards. There's one just there, but over time they've obviously deteriorated. So by 1919, there were 93 people that were registered here at Mogumber Reserve. They built a baker's oven, a dormitory for the young females, a baker's and a cookhouse. Whoa. And then a large shelter. I just about went through the ground then. And then there was a large fireplace that was also built as well, but I think this is one of the earlier buildings here, so I'm just going to jump down and have a quick look at this one. Probably would have had something written on here, whatever the actual building was. I don't really know. It's quite small. Could be the superintendent's building. Yeah, there you go. And then there's a bit of a burn off bin and another building just down there. Alrighty, this is the furthest building, and I wasn't going to come this far, but it just this one intrigued me a lot. Very old doors on it, and I actually think this might have been the old prison. Yep, outside area, and these are cells. These are 100% cells. This is the lockup here. There's a bit of writing on there, nothing too, there's 2007, not really too old. But yeah, there we go. So this was actually the little lockup then for a bit. Alright, here's the incinerator. So I guess they would have had the ramp, dump everything up the top, and then everything was lit and then burnt in here. Not really much in there at all, to be honest. So we've pretty much come to the end. There's also some remnants of another building just down there, but that doesn't really matter. We're going to head back up and finish all those other buildings that are on the other side up there. It's a bit of a shame that these boards, because I don't know what that is. It's a bit hard to tell. But everything's got history. Each building, and it kind of sucks that I don't know what a lot of it is, but that's all right. So by 1920, the population had risen to 158. There was new laws that came into place from the government, basically saying that they can remove any Aboriginal and bring them here to Mogumber, which was wrong to begin with. They used to have good intentions of, you know, what this place was for, but that got blown to pieces. So I'm just coming to the pool here. I just want to show you guys the pool while I'm here. Alrighty, here we go. Into the pool. So they got little kids pool here. And then into this one here, which would actually be pretty sick for skateboarding. A little bit of a hut and a thing where the pool pumps and everything would have been. There we are. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's quite a big pool actually. Old generator. Not going to go in there. I don't need to go in there. That's fine. All right, guys. Next one, and you can see that's what I was saying. Like, you know, one there, there's one there, there's those information plaques everywhere. It's just a real shame that they're all rubbed off, because otherwise I could sort of fill you guys in on a bit of the info as I'm going along. But anyway, it does continue right up there, but I'm not going up there. This is enough here. So There we go, there's the pools. So this settlement, Mogumber Reserve here, they also housed a lot of the half caste, which is what we sort of call a mix between European white and Aboriginal Australian. So that's what that half caste means. A lot of them were brought here as well. But just behind me, this is pretty cool, is you can see, there we go, basketball court. So there's still a bit of the basketball court here, which is actually pretty cool. Beautiful day too. So I'm probably only about 60 k's north of Perth roughly. It's quite cool today, but here I'll take you in here. This was the original basketball court, quite big. Alright. So by 1922, the other reserve settlement, because I said at the start there was two, this is not the other one. Corollup was the second native settlement reserve. That closed, and most of them were sent here to Moore River settlement. So the numbers increased dramatically. The tight living conditions were even tighter. There's another building here, but that's completely gone as well, which is quite weird because I know a fire swept through here, but this building here is in quite an open area. The flames must have had to have jumped quite far. I can't even tell you what this building was, to be honest. The bathtub's still there. Toilet. There you go, there's the bathtub. Yeah, right. It's just a pile of mess. So during 1925, the superintendent that was stationed here at Moore River, he was replaced with a guy called John Brodie. Now, John Brodie wasn't a nice man. He didn't treat the people here, the Aboriginal people, very well, actually well at all. Matter of fact, he didn't last very long at all because of his actions. He was actually investigated for tar and feathering one of the people here. The little building that you can see just there, that is the mess. That's where they would have gone and had a feed. We'll go on and have a look. Alright, little building. I think this is the mess hall. This is what they refer to. There's a little number 2 there. Very small, very smelly. But yeah, there you go. So that's the inside of this little building here. That's pretty cool. Alright, check out this little building here as well. So by 1928, there was more than 300 people here at the reserve when the capacity was only supposed to be for 200. This looks awfully clean in here for some reason. Very clean. There were extra facilities that were added after 1928, like the slaughterhouse, the butcher shop, and also a carpenter's shop as well. This might actually even be a carpenter's shop, actually. I'm not too sure. It's a bit of some rubbish here. Not really much to look at. It's just another little building, but anyway. Just showing you guys what's in and out, and that's about it. So the white cockatoo's going over. Such a beautiful day down here. So where were we? 1928. So 1929, there was a new hospital that was constructed. Unfortunately, a lot of these earlier buildings, they were actually demolished once Mogumber had finished, and the government had said, look, no more, this is not acceptable. The new superintendent's wife took up the position of matron, like a midwife kind of thing. This building here looks very spooky, don't you reckon? The whole place is got a real, it's almost like somber, I guess. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. All right, we'll go. I'm going to take you in here. We'll have a look at this one, and then I think from we've got so we've got this one, and then we've got that other one just around the corner there, and then we're sort of pretty much done for most of the buildings here. All right, so we're coming up onto this one. I'm not sure what this is. It looks more like a dormitory. It's got a sliding door. Oh yeah. So this is the dormitories, and you got showers and stuff in here. Showers, toilets. There's still toilet paper there too. Mirror. All right. This is cool. This is really cool. There's GYATES 92, I think. Don't really, doesn't matter. So they probably would have had maybe 4 to 6 people in a room. I'm not actually sure how many they had in per room. Each room is probably going to be roughly about the same. This one will be about the same as well. Oh, I can't open that, the roof's collapsed. All that's come down. We'll go through to the other side here. Front room. It's quite big in here. Oh, look at that. 1923. 1973. 1978. Yeah, cool. All right, so we're just finishing up looking at this bit in here. There we go. So that's what I was saying before. We're in between 2 places here, yet the fire managed to jump through all that paddock and take out the middle building. Like it's very suspicious, man. But anyway, the back door. There we go. That's the view from the back of this place. See what's in here. Oh yeah, another bathroom, shower and stuff. The old hooks to hang your school bags off. All right, next building. Let's go. So during the 1930s, when the Depression hit Australia. Things got hard for everybody really. The living was the hardest part. Food, rations, all that sort of stuff. But there was at that point there was nearly 500 people here. And remember at the start I was saying this place was only equipped for 200, so it was already more than double the amount of people that were actually allowed to be here. The conditions I couldn't imagine what they were like. They cut funding. The state cut funding for this place as well. We're just coming up to the last building here, this one. So I'm guessing this is going to be the same as the last one, a dormitory of some sort. By 1935 the hospital was complete. They had a men's ward as well. There was a surgery and operating theatre. And also there was children's rooms and offices as well. I thought I just heard someone call out. No, okay. All right, so this is Kingston. So they must have had the dorms must have had different names on them. I'm not sure where Kingston has come from, but we'll go check this one out as well. This one looks a little bit newer, in better condition. All right, up we go. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, very similar setup. Just still crowded conditions though. Cupboards and stuff. Another room. We'll squeeze through to the back. So they got, you know, there's fans, and it's not barbaric conditions here. It's and they look like little fireplaces of some sort. See, I'm gonna be, I don't know, very controversial here and point shit out. Look at this, man. Oh, this is deliberate, eh? And I thought the deliberate thing was back at that first toilet when the toilet was burnt but nothing else. Now, look at this, man. I reckon what they've done is they've used the fire that's come through, they've used that as a cover-up to burn this, and then come in and go, look, everything's full of asbestos, we need to get rid of this whole place. I think this should be left. I think they should clean up all that and leave the rest to history. But anyway, that's my own opinion. That's just my own opinion. Anyway. Alright, let's get back through here. So it did take a while, but they actually did get funding back again for Mogumber. Oh, that stinks. That smells really bad. I don't know what's in there. So they did actually get the grants back again for what was classified as a native village. Some of the shells here. Oh, that's just gone freezing cold in here. Well, that's a big room. It's a really big room. Yeah, I mean, it is just buildings. There's not really much else apart from the buildings to see. So it's cool just to see, you know, what's left, and this is quite well, this is the biggest part of Australian history, this place, really, isn't it? So yeah, I'm not sure how many, they would have had a few people in each room. So not long after the government got the grants back for the native village, this site was actually surveyed, and there was roads that were constructed, trees that were planted, and a whole heap of other things as well. So what I'm thinking about these boards, because I've noticed they're in all the rooms, they probably would have had like a list of like weekly chores and all that sort of stuff. I'm not really 100%. Calendar or whatever their personal effects. So you can see, look, there's one there. There's multiple in each room. A further 6 camps were actually built for single men. All right, that's that little building there. We've got one more to go, and then we're out of here. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. That was the last one. So Kingston was the last one. So by 1951, a commissioner from Papua New Guinea took over from the Native Affairs. That was in 1951. 17 of these buildings, probably not these ones here, it would have been those ones that were further down. They were demolished. That basically sealed the end for this Mogumber Reserve. The whole place was shut down. They did used to use it as a Methodist mission for like church, Christians, that sort of stuff. But basically after that, the Aboriginal people that were left here were actually set free. So, which is a good ending to a horrible story, isn't it? So there we are. So that is the Mogumber Reserve. This is where the stolen generation, the Aboriginals, this is where they were taken. By 1968, a legislation had passed through the government of Western Australia, allowing Aboriginal people to vote to become part of our census. So they were integrated into our colonisation, the white European colonisation for Western Australia. Most of the land ownership that was based on ethnic customs and identification of those Aboriginals local to the area. And that's pretty much about it, really. So I want to thank you guys for watching this one. This was Mogumber Reserve. I did say at the start, if you're not comfortable with viewing or looking at any of this stuff, do not watch this video. I've tried to keep it as close to the basics as I can, history and whatnot. I haven't sort of given my idea or my thoughts on this place. Everybody's probably got their own thoughts, but I just want to thank you guys for watching this channel and supporting me on my journey. So without further ado, I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Stay spooky. Catch you later, guys. See ya. Alright, so just a bit further down the road from the Mogumber Reserve, I've come to this place here. This is the memorial place, or the resting place of the people that passed away at the reserve. They do have here, there is a memorial wall. There are a couple of little tombstone plaques stuff in the grounds there. I'm not going to go right up, but what I will do is I'll show you guys the memorial plaque here, and then I will pay my respects to the people that obviously fell victim to this horrible tragedy over time. And then I thank you guys for watching. You can stay tuned and subscribe to my channel so you can see my future videos. I very much appreciate it, guys. And that was Mogumber Reserve. That's the stolen generation. Hope you guys enjoyed it. So there's a bit of a little plaque here. So that's from the Aboriginal College, just commemorating the families and the people of the stolen generation. This track here, you can't really get to it, but if you go along here, it goes back up to the reserve, which is actually the path that the children used to take to come and visit and see their family and stuff. So horrible story, but it is part of Western Australia's history. So this is the memorial, the cemetery for Mogumber. Quite a nice little spot to come and sit. I guess what these walls and stuff are the little sitting bays. There we go. That's the cemetery at Mogumber.